the quality's really hurt because of that.
Well, that's like, the same thing with ratings. They do that for ratings, and they go with what's popular for the year. Like one year, it's trending if it's a ghost, or it'll be even more trending if it's a demon. And you can tell, and we completely agree with you, when shows are scripted when you watch them, especially if you're into investigating like we are. These things just stick out to us like an elephant in a room, so to speak.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
And and that was the beauty of YouTube, was that people were able to create content, and still are. I mean, it's demonetized now, and now there's censorship happening and all kinds of things. But having that platform for people to create, like you said, real life, everyday content. Not scripted, not the same old that we see with a different, same show, different people kind of thing, right?
Yep.
And like you said, once you learn the reality, we've interviewed so many people that have had negative experiences with television production that we are hesitant to even, I guess, go there, for a few reasons, and that's one of them. Is that,
Oh, yeah.
And the other thing, too, is being taken out of context or anything else,
Right, but it's not just that, too. We've gotten contacted by clients that we've worked cases for that have watched these shows on TV and literally waited 1 to 2 years to call us because they weren't sure if what they were going to get from us was exactly like what they saw on TV. And it wasn't until each of these clients sat down, with us and met us face to face, and we explained everything. And the first thing we told them, what you're going to get from us is not what you see on TV.
right?
That's so true. Stay true to what you guys do. Is sticking to it. If it's meant to be, something will come up and they'll respect what you do, and it'll work. If not, you get to continue what you do. There's other ways to get things out there.
Yeah, exactly. So we have a, we were looking at your website, and you list 4 reasons why you love the new work you're doing with the journey with Jax, and I wanted to touch on each one and have you elaborate on it.
Okay.
Why don't we do one, and then we could take a commercial break, and then when we can come back, we can nail the other ones, and then discuss some other stuff then. But the first one was preserving history.
Well, that one's pretty easy, and I think we're losing our history. It's happening right before our eyes, and I can take this down so many rabbit trails. Just look at politics. I mean, it's tearing down statues and rewriting history. We can go into that, but just looking at things such as buildings and taking down the old, putting up the new. It rewrites things. If it's not there for people to digest it and see it, feel it, and do it, then it's gone. And I like to always refer to the phrase, if it doesn't exist on Google, it doesn't exist. And that's really sad, because there's a ton of stuff in life, in this world that we have that hasn't been covered by Wikipedia or Google or any of these other search things. And that's a shame. Or maybe it's something that gets a little paragraph, of a description, but never, can be seen or touched as it disappears. And you look at you guys on the East Coast, you've got so many awesome insane asylums and things that life that most people now can't even comprehend, let alone, be able to even think about it. So the history in itself is just disappearing before us. And if you don't get out there and have somebody create some sort of tangible, hey, I'm here, this is what I see, this is what I'm hearing, this is what I'm smelling, and obviously our, the platform is video, visual, but then it's saved and it's out there. and people can see it and they can look that up. YouTube and the Mayo and these other, movie platform or film platforms are great to actually see what people are doing, other adventurers and explorers, because these things are disappearing. In Arizona and Montana, both, you've got mines and history of, wars with Native Americans and things that I'm a history buff that you might not even know, and it just disappears, because time goes. You move away a sign, you take away a building, and all of a sudden it's gone. Now let's just take that even further, and you got stuff like cold cases that were never solved, cases that were, potentially never even brought forward. Maybe at the time it was a death that was considered natural, or, there was no sort of cause to believe it was a murder. But what if it was? And what if there's more evidence now, and it's just washed away? Those are the things that I'm talking about with that first statement.
Yeah, and we completely agree with you. It's like a good example. You mentioned insane asylums. I love, like, the architecture of, like, the old Kurt Fry buildings alone are just wonderful. Oh, yes, yeah. The history is dark, but at the same time, people should make them into museums where people could go and see the history instead of just tearing them down.
Oh, yeah, for sure. And if you don't have history, you don't learn from past mistakes. And we're obviously seeing that right now with some of our politicians that are out further to the left field. History just repeats itself if you don't learn from it.
Okay. And with that, it is time for our first commercial break. You are listening to Paraversal Universe. We will be right back with our guest for the next segment.
You are listening to WBHM Digital Broadcasting, the best in paranormal talk, only on Paranormal Experience Radio, broadcasting live out of Birmingham, Alabama.
Oh, come on. I'm Southern, but... Nope. That'll do. Hello. I am Kat Hobson, host of Paranormal Experience here on WBHM Digital Broadcasting out of Birmingham, Alabama. I enjoy having guests from all areas of the paranormal, from ghosts to ufology to cryptids and beyond. You'll find some of the best researchers in their fields bringing you some great information. Join me on Wednesday nights from 8 to 10 p. Eastern here on WBHM Digital Broadcasting.
Since 1948, Fate magazine has brought you reports of the strange and unknown, all of them true. Fate Radio is carrying on that tradition, bringing you the unusual, macabre, strange, and bizarre. Join host Kat Hobson, Sunday nights from 8 to 10 p.m. Eastern on WBHM Digital Broadcasting.
Thank you for listening to WBHM Digital Broadcasting out of Birmingham, Alabama. The time is 23 minutes after the hour.
Welcome back from our first commercial break, everyone. This is Paraversal Universe on WBHM Digital Broadcasting, WCET-FM, the APPRN, and the Rift. We're your hosts, Kevin and Jennifer Malik, and we'd like to take a minute to thank everybody who makes Paraversal Universe possible, including graphic art director Lawrence D. Miza, music theme by Matt Stenz, announcer Frank Lee, producer and network owner Kat Hobson at WBHM. Shoutouts to our other affiliate network owners, Howie Odell at the Rift family, Michael Vera at Late Night in the Midlands and at WCET, and to Amelia Pisano at Amelia Pisano Productions Radio Network. Thank you all for carrying our content. You guys rock. And working together on our behalf and the behalf of our audience everywhere. We really appreciate that, and thank you. And, of course, a huge thank you to God in heaven, whose strength beyond strength is stronger than all, for granting us this wonderful show and opportunity here to be with you all.
Amen.
Amen.
An appreciation to all the various platforms we're on, including iTunes, Spreaker, iHeartRadio, Twitch, YouTube, Daily Motion, TalkStream Live, TuneIn, Blog Talk, Podbean, Google Play, Mixcloud, and Paranormal Radio Livestream app, which is streamed and restreamed from various other outlets all over the world via the internet. All right. This segment of Paraversal Universe is brought to you by the UFO Wisconsin Research Team, Wisconsin's alternative to MUFON. And we are talking to Jax Menez Atwell. Are you still with us, Jax?
Yes, sir.
Alrighty. So when we were talking about your the work you're doing on your new show, Journey with Jax, and before we went to break, we discussed one of the 4 things that you had mentioned that you really like about the show, and that was preserving history. The second one, which I thought was really interesting and true, is the trek to them. You talk about that?
Oh yeah, I mean that's your physical portion of getting to something, whether that's a journey using some sort of vehicle or aircraft, or literally your own body power to walk, to hike to something. And that is a big part of what I love. The journey to get to something, it makes getting to the area that much better. And nothing better than after hiking to something lost or that's out in the middle of nowhere, and taking that deep breath, getting some water and enjoying the first initial views of an abandoned place, or something that's just out bygone and forgotten. To me, that's one of the greatest highs of what I do.
That's awesome. And yeah, and when you think about it, and when I think back, when you said that, and I thought about it for a minute, when you watch, people who film and they go to different places, and a lot of it is the travel, getting there, and or getting back, but usually, and a lot of stuff happens in whether it's different countries or there's cultures and customs and just so much. It's cool. It's really cool. It's a very cool part of legend tripping, I think. The third thing was discovering new sites. Can you talk about that?
Well, isn't that the goal of everyone, is to find something new? What new might be something old that's been completely forgotten, which happens. Things that have been buried. I got to experience an old speakeasy in Butte, Montana. That was something that was new to me, although